Good morning everyone, thank you for joining me. We are looking at tarot symbolism. Now lots of people ask me about reading intuitively or reading from the book. For me, I think it's really good to understand both. I feel like understanding what the book means, I know lots of people say throw the book away, just use your intuition. I don't agree with that. I'm going to say don't throw the book away. I think that the book and the basic foundation can help you read any deck. Once you can understand the basics of the tarot and the foundation of each meaning, then you can read any deck that floats your pathway, okay? Intuitively, we're going to come to that in a minute. Understanding the basic foundation of each card can help you get to the nitty-gritty of tarot. It can help you get into the nitty-gritty of someone's life. Now, intuitively, psychically, you may be able to pick up a general area, a general vibe, how that person's feeling, how that person's mindset is, but you might not be able to really home in into the nitty-gritty of that current situation. Now, I've had intuitive readings done before, and I'm not a fan of them. I prefer, if I'm going for a reading, I like to see the cards that people read are going to be based on the Rider-Waite, because I feel that people who understand the basic meanings of the cards are going to be able to deliver, for me, a better reading. The ones I've had before, intuitively, they seem to miss a few things. But doing a tarot reading, understanding the depth of the meanings, you get a better reading. That's my personal take on it. Some of you are going to disagree, and that's fine. But I've yet to have an intuitive reading that gets to the nitty-gritty and the heart of a situation and be bang on. A lot of the time they are just picking up surface stuff, and sometimes things that they think I want to know, not a particular question that I might have come to or a particular answer to. It's more based on what their feeling is, what they're picking up, more than what the card is talking. So I feel like it's good to understand both, and that is what I teach in a way where we look at all the meanings of each card as well as layering it with your intuition. So the symbols in the card, we're going to look at these two first of all, okay? I'm going to the first of the deck, and we're going to work our way through the whole pack eventually. The basic meaning of the Fool is new beginnings, okay? The Fool is an adventure card. It's going on a new trip. It's going on a new venture. It's the start of a new cycle. We know that. The Fool comes in with taking a leap of faith. Most people understand that the Fool talks about a new journey or a new chapter. Now, when you understand the nitty-gritty of the cards, you can talk about where that chapter is. Is it in a romantic sense? Is it in a job sense? Is it in a house move? Is it moving abroad? Understanding the nitty-gritty is really key to getting to the point. I've yet to have a reading where they've not been able to get to that nitty-gritty without using a tarot card, unless sometimes they're working on mediumship, which the spirit world could be giving that information very clearly there. But I like to use mediumship as evidential. I like to use the cards to see what's going on. Okay, so an evidential, I mean like how the person passed, what influences that spirit person has had. Yeah, okay, we're not going to go into that. Right now, we're going to have a look at the Fool. So we know, like I said, the Fool talks about a new journey, a new chapter, and a leap of faith. That's pretty obvious in a lot of tarot decks. But the symbolism, if we go even closer to the symbolism, you've got the sun in the corner. Now, the sun makes us feel good, doesn't it? The sun makes us feel energized. It gives us a little bit of hope, and it gives us a bit of oomph. It also makes us feel young again. And now the Fool does connect to either being young or being vulnerable and being in a new position. So that sun, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, is going to give us that energy to do that. But if we get too close to it, the sun's going to burn. So we've got to be careful about how we bring that sun into our lives. Are we going to burn ourselves, or are we going to use the strength and the life vitality from it? We've got the little dog in the card. Now, the dog here is white. White in the tarot for me symbolises purity and vulnerability and a very spiritual connection. Dog in the tarot can indicate friendships, can indicate loyal friendships, can also here indicate that he may be looking, depending on what you're picking up, could be looking to support this leap of faith, to support this jump, or he could be barking saying, don't do it, don't do it. Other cards around the spread will determine whether this is going to be a good leap of faith or not. Sometimes you will be drawn to that little dog and nothing else. So you'll be like, okay, your friends are supporting you. You've got perhaps a loyal friend there. Perhaps you've got someone there that is a little bit hesitant and that is trying to warn you about things. You've got the mountains in the background. Now, mountains in the tarot can indicate mountains to climb, or mountains to overcome, or mountains that have been overcome, hills that have been perhaps challenges. So in this picture, it's behind him. Or is it? Is it behind, or is it into the future? That again is something you can pick up with your intuition there. This is why it's really good to get a good balance between the both. So the mountains in this card, if you're drawn around the mountains, can indicate maybe even a trip to the mountains somewhere, maybe it's Switzerland. It can indicate where there could be some obstacles and some challenges and some things that are maybe going to be a little bit of a block, or something that he's got to overcome, something that he's got to climb. We climb mountains, right? We climb mountains and we overcome them. The little yellow shoes here, yellow is a vibrant colour, the yellow background as well. It's a positive colour. It is, again, indicates full of vitality, full of life. It comes from the sun, yellow, and sunflowers and everything yellow usually has a positive vibe, doesn't it? So those yellow little boots that he's wearing indicate his fun side, his creative side, his side that he's ready for it, that he's ready for an adventure, or he's ready for some fun. He, could be she, you never know. I'm not going down that road. But the boots encourage you to have a little bit of fun and to take your creative venture. Now, sometimes you might not even be drawn to that leap of faith. You could be drawn to other aspects in the card. And this is where your intuition could pick up other aspects of the card and talk about a creative side, talk about an inner child side, talk about perhaps being spontaneous with things. And feet moving forward, you know, travel there. So you could talk about that, but you may still miss that essence of that leap of faith from it. So this is why it's really important to bring the both together. You see in his little sack, he don't have a big sack, does he? He has a little sack. So here we've got everything that he needs. He's got it all there. He's got nothing else. He's not like me, got 10 suitcases when I go on a little bit of an adventure. He's got the bare necessities in that. There's nothing else around him. So this indicates that on this new venture, on this new chapter, you've got what you need. You've got the bare necessities. You might not need to take 1,000 suitcases. You might not need to take everything that you've collected and everything that you've owned, including your knowledge. You may not need that for this new venture. It is new, so we're looking at new things. You've got the bare necessities there, and that's all you need. Look at the way he's standing. Look at the way he's not even looking at the cliff's edge. He's just in his la-la land, and he's just going for it. Now, there's different takes on this where he is looking in a different position, but this particular one I've had designed from the original traditional Rider-Waite. So he's got his nose in the air a little bit. So this can indicate that he's just not thinking about things. He's just literally following in his nose. He's going with what he believes is right, and he hasn't really got too many cares in the world. He's just going for it. He's following his nose. He's not necessarily looking where he's going. And like I said, depending on the other cards around, this could be a good thing, but may not be a good thing there. We've got the white rose in the card as well, the white rose. Now again, rose, that can indicate purity, simplicity, and peace. So he's quite happy with this. He's quite at peace with this journey. He has an offering of love around him. He knows he's got the spirit protection around him. White can be spirit as well. So he's quite happy on his journey. Now, overall, this card is going to be a positive leap of faith overall, but the other cards around it will determine that. However, it's sometimes needed. Sometimes, even if we're going to fall, we will be caught. So it's needed at the time. This leap of faith, this change of direction, this new beginning. We've got a lot of spiritual contact there with the white in there. We've got the support and the help there. We've got the sun giving us our strength there. The mountains, although they are there, they're not huge. They're in the background. They're not huge. They're easy to overcome. Now, I've added to these cards the astrology symbols, okay? So this is Uranus. Uranus is the planet of sudden changes. Uranus is the planet of the rebellion and can be chaotic, but it's spontaneous energy. The Fool is somebody who is young, naive, perhaps vulnerable, and that's because he is the Fool. He's the first person in the deck. He's the first step in the deck. It's 0. 0 connects in numerology to unlimited possibilities. 0 is the beginning. Some decks I've seen where this is the end. You have the world and then you have this. But for me, this is the beginning there. So we use the number 0 to indicate unlimited possibilities. We use Uranus to indicate that this could be spontaneous. This could be a trip that is unexpected. Quite often for me, this will come up for someone when they might just be going away for a weekend. It's a quick holiday, it's a quick trip, and they might not have planned it. They might just be grabbing their bag and going. They could be spontaneous or taking action in a way that is quick off the mark, and that's where Uranus comes in. And Uranus will bring sudden surprises to us. So again, it's telling us that we've got a new journey ahead, but we don't know where we're going from it. So it's a sudden surprise, or it's going to be a surprise there. It may lead to a bit of chaos. Quite often when we go on a trip, it does. Either the packing or the unpacking or the destination, somewhere along the line, and there is a change in the air. And that's what Uranus is going to bring, a change in the air. So when I designed these cards, I really tried to bring in the astrology connection and the symbolism of them to help you really go deep within the cards, okay? Now, my whole deck has got the astrology, even the minor cards. You don't often see it in the minor cards. But I'm going to do this each week for you, and we are going to go through all the cards gradually. So bear with us. It's going to take some time, but bear with us. We'll try and go through a couple of cards at a time. So here, that's what the Fool is. The Fool is the beginning. Now, if you've read The Fool's Journey, and if not, I would recommend that you read it. It is on my website. The Fool's Journey is a metaphor of our whole life. It's something that we all go through. It's something that in our life, we have to go through the 22 major cards at some point. We will go through being born. We will go through a new chapter, a new beginning. We will go through right through to the death card. We will experience changes, and then we will come out at the world, a completion. So at some point, the metaphor of each of the major cards we are going to go through in our life. And that's what the major cards talk about, big events. Big things coming in, things that are going to be either changeable or have a strong influence. The minor cards, which we'll do later, look at minor things. They look at the nitty-gritty of where things are going. Now, if I was to pull a wand card with this, we would know that this new beginning could be with work or with action or even with travel. If we was to pick a cup card, we would know that this beginning is around your emotions, it's around love. If we were to pick a pentacle, we would know that this is around money. So it could be a new job or a new home. And if it's with swords, this could be a mental journey. Mentally, we're going through something new, or a lot of thought is there. So the minor cards can really help to understand which area the bigger cards are going to go in. Let's just see what some messages I've got there. Your focus on this card and the depth of your knowledge is wonderful. Thank you, Andrea. I hope you're well. Good morning, everyone. Lots of you watching today. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so that is the Fool. We also have the green. I did wonder, Andrea, it's 2:30 a.m. here, so we'd love to follow, but won't be live for me. You're doing a refresher course for me. Thank you. Yeah, I did wonder. I know that you're not in the UK, and I thought it must be really late for you there. So thank you for joining. The green is also a promise there. The green can be prosperity. The green is lush. Green, you think of a green tree, you think of the shoots, you think of the lushness, you think of the prosperity and the growth. That's the word I was trying to find, the growth that comes from that. So the green here, depending on your intuition, you may pick up different things. And this is why one card can have a different meaning for 10 different people. Because you've got the basic foundation, which we spoke about, the basic foundation of everyone who picks this card is going to have some form of new chapter, new beginnings, and maybe a leap of faith. But intuitively what you pick up and symbols from it, what symbols are you drawn to? Are you drawn to what they've got in their bag? Maybe clairvoyantly, you might even be able to see what's in there. Are you drawn to the images on their outfit? Are you drawn to the yellow shoes? Are you drawn to the mountains? So using the symbols, using your intuition will really give you a stronger input into the card. And how do you use your intuition? It is practice. Do you know when I first started mine, I don't know if anyone remembered Deal or No Deal, the programme. I loved that, Noel Edmonds. I would literally start to guess what was in the boxes. And I just practice and practice, and it was on every day, wasn't it? And I was getting it right, and I should have gone on the show. I was getting it right and right. And not at the beginning, but over time. And I was just picking up things throughout the day. I would go to the churches and I would be like, I know who they're going to go to. They're going to go to that person. So you can pick up on your intuition by just doing day-to-day things. You can pick up by going to perhaps clairvoyant evenings and just not necessarily tuning into the medium. I'm not sure that's the right thing to do anyway, but to just get your intuition juices flowing and see if you know where they're going, who's going to pick the message there, where is the energy drawn to. That's a really good way. You can do little things like getting your friends perhaps to put some items in a bowl, and then trying to work out what's in the bowl there. Remote viewing. There's so many different psychic exercises that you can practice and practice until you really start to home in on that. And you never stop learning. So don't stop practicing there. But the more readings that you do, the more that you will pick things out. Morning, Paul. Morning, everyone. The more readings you do, the more that the cards will start to sing to you, literally sing to you. The more that you will start to see images jumping out and flashing out. And for one person, something will flash, and then for another person, it could be something different. Okay, let's have a look at the next card. The Magician. There is so much symbology in the Magician here. Now, the Magician as a card, it's a masculine card. As a card, it talks about magic, doesn't it? Manifestation. How do we get magic? We manifest things, we magic things up, conjure things up. So the Magician talks about magical manifestations. He's in number 1. He's only gone from the 0 to the 1, so it's still very early. It's still talking about new beginnings and perhaps a new venture or a new opportunity that's coming in. Now, if we look into this card, the Magician itself talks about having all the tools to do the job. You've got your power. It's an extremely powerful card as a major card. On the table, you can see all the different symbols. So we've got the cup, we've got the sword, we've got the pentacle, and we've got the wand right in front of him. So that indicates that he's got all his tools to do the job. You may be drawn to one particular tool. So you might be like, okay, I'm really drawn around the pentacle. I know that this is around more material things. So again, follow where your eye goes. Lots of symbolism in this card. So the basic foundation meaning is that he's got all the tools to do the job. He can manifest things. You've got your power back with this card. This is a new reset button. If we look even closer, the table is made of wood here. Wood is solid, isn't it? Wood is solid. So this is a good solid base to have all your tools on. He's pointing up. What do we have up? Heaven as above, and then he's pointing below, earth, down below. Above is where we have our subconscious. Below is our conscious. So above is our dreams, our hopes, what we aspire to. And then we need to manifest it into earth. We need to bring it down to earth for it to become something. As above, so below. So your dreams can literally start to manifest now because you've got all the tools to do the job. You've got everything in hand there. Your dreams can become a reality. You can start to bring to earth what it is you've been hoping for and wishing for. Now, look at all the green in here. Green is lush, all that growth underneath as well, and all the flowers. Everything's in bloom, everything's ready. That beautiful yellow around is a great yellow of vitality, good health, encouragement. And then we've got the white, the spirit of white as well around. So again, it's telling us we've got everything that we need around us. That creativity, that spiritual help, and the earthly connections with the green there. On his belt is a serpent belt. If I get a bit closer. Serpent belt. Now, this is never ending. So it indicates that we have beginnings and endings, but we can go with the flow. Very similar to the, oh God, I've forgotten the name of it. The symbol at the top there, infinity symbol. It's continuous. It's continuous. This is continuous. The snake is continuous. So here we have a continued flow. The energy is just keep on going. It's just keeping on going there. You may even notice that there's engravings on the wood there. So there's detail. There is detail now. This is like raw power, drawing that raw power, drawing that detail, because you've got everything there. Masterful. The red is powerful. Red in the tarot, red cloaks particularly, can connect to royalty or having that power of authority. This is a masculine card. Next time we'll bring in the High Priestess, which is the feminine counterpart to this card. It's ruled by Mercury. The astrology connection here is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is your thinking. Mercury is smart. Mercury is logic. It also is your communication and anything to do with technology, which is why Mercury retrograde gets such a bad name around computers and phones falling. Mercury connects to technology. It's our thinking tool, though, and it's how our thought process works. So in this card, Mercury, we have to be smart. We are smart. We are powerful. Our mind is super powerful. Our mind is communicating on so many levels now, so many levels, really to allow things to start to manifest. So smart thinking comes in with this card. And again, you might feel drawn around one particular thing when you're working with one person, or if you're working with yourself, you might be drawn to one tool there, or one particular colour, one image, or you may be drawn to all of it. So, like I said, understanding the basic meaning of the card and then layering it with the symbols, layering it with your intuition can really help you go deeper. The symbols in tarots are so strong. It'd be such a shame to waste them, such a shame not to understand them and to waste those symbolisms in the tarot, because they can just take your level to your tarot to the next level. And this again is why I like to teach the book meaning, to teach how the tarot works with your intuition, but why I like tarot readings with these kind of cards rather than just intuitive readings, because of the nitty-gritty, because of the detail that can go in. Now, don't get me wrong, oracle cards are stunning. There's a lot of detail in the oracle cards, you know, all the fairy, kind angel cards, a lot of detail comes in that, that comes in that. So if you can use the detail from that, it can pull some things. But I'm just a huge fan of all the tarot symbolism because it goes way back. It goes way back. So this week I thought we'd just look at these two cards and kick off what I want to be doing in this group now. Next time I pop on, we'll be looking at the next couple of cards. So we're going and look at the High Priestess, we'll look at the Empress and the Emperor. The High Priestess I would have liked to have done today because it is the counterpart to the Magician, but my batteries are going, so I'm not going to get a chance to do that today. So before my batteries die, there's your quick tarot symbolism lesson. Let's have a quick pull for you as a collective card. These will be out soon. I'm literally on the last draft of it. You won't believe, I reckon I've been on these about 2-3 years. I reckon I've been doing these. And I'm now at the point of uploading the last booklet to go to the publishers. So be prepared. Oh, and this is your message for today. This is your collective message for today. Let's go into this card then. So we've got the Emperor. Now the Emperor can be a father figure. It's someone who's firm but fair. So your father may influence today, or grandfather, okay? This card indicates that there is a time for being firm and fair, and now is it. It is a strong card about your boundaries. So it was talking about putting your boundaries in place, resetting your boundaries, and knowing where you stand, but also allowing other people to know where you stand. If you've been out of control lately, this card is great because it indicates you're going to start to be more assertive. You're going to start to take control of things. You're going to start to be on the ball and be more in charge of whatever's going on in your life. You're going to be more master of your own destiny. Now, that's the basic meaning. Authority, assertiveness, being master of your own destiny, taking charge, taking back in control, stepping up. It can be promotions as well. It can be the boss card. It can be fame as well, recognition and working in the public eye. Now, if we look at the symbols, let's come a bit closer. If we look at the symbols, he's got this beautiful orb. We've got masculine and feminine here. He's got all his power in here and his scepter here. All his power is Ankh. He's got, I'm rushing because of the my batteries. He's got the crown, so we know that he's somebody important because of the crown. And he's got all those important jewels, so he's worked hard. He's an older man, we can tell that by his beard. So he's going to have experience. So this is someone coming in today to give you that experience, to give you that knowledge, that power, that help. You may even gain that yourself. So it could be someone coming in, it could be yourself that's gaining all that knowledge. Now, look at his feet here. They've got armour around him. So we're protective. We've got protective armour around. Quite often for me with this card, quite often it will come in and it will indicate for me somebody who may have mobility problems or who has issues going on with their legs. That's just something intuitively, sometimes if it's needed, that I might pick up there. It is an Aries card. He's got the rams there. Now, Aries, this is this symbol Aries here. Aries is all about assertive energy. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so they are the leader. So this is a leader. This is telling you to lead the way now. Aries are go-getting. Aries are, I'm the boss. No one's going to boss me around. And I'm taking charge of my shit. And whatever I say, this is the way things are going to go. So this is the energy that's conjuring up around you today, because this is today's card. So we want to pull on that Aries energy. It is a very feisty energy, a fiery energy. It is an energy that's go-getting as well. So if ever there was a day when you needed to put boundaries in place, where you needed to take charge of things, this is the card. Like I said, there could be father, grandfather connections as well here. So you may tap in, you might find that you're visiting your dad today, or that you're going to see your dad or your grandfather for some influence. There could be anniversaries or birthdays. Maybe you're taking some advice if they're past. You might be thinking, what would dad have said about this? Maybe you are a dad, and this is where the influence comes in as well, where you need to be firm but fair with things, okay? So that is your message today. He's also sat on a very strong throne, seat, chair, strong foundations. 4, let's just go to the numerology quick. 4 is a foundation card. 4 is like you've got 4 walls, brings a square, brings a room, solid. You've got 4 legs on a chair, you feel secure. You've got 4 wheels on a car most of the time. 4s are foundations, okay? 4 brings in a foundation. So he is a solid foundation. He's the protector. The energy around you today is protecting, it's solid, it's building, it's assertive, it's being master of your own destiny, it's taking charge of things. Win-win. Okay, so I hope that message can make sense to you guys today. And I hope listening to and looking at the symbols is going to take your tarot just a little bit into another level. But I will be back for some more later, but my batteries are going for now. So have a fab day. I love your messages. Thank you. My batteries are really going, so I'm just being really quick. Good morning, everyone. And looks like everyone's enjoyed that. Oh, God, I can't really. Will this happen each Wednesday? It's my plan. That's my plan. In a couple of weeks I'm away, but my plan is to do it roughly about 9 o'clock UK time, to go through each card. So yes, that's my plan. And Andrea, because you're in the community tarot group, I will be posting it in there. So if ever you miss it, don't worry. It's going to go on my YouTube channel, and then it will get posted into the tarot community group. So if you've done any of my courses, you'll be in that group. And if you miss this, don't worry, you'll be able to catch it up there. And I am planning some more lives in that community group. I'm just at the point of finishing this deck, then I get my life back to be able to do what I want to do a bit more. So thank you guys for watching. Lots of love to you all, and I'll see you again soon.